Folks, it is all the rage these days. Everybody's looking for boring businesses. And because of the one and only Cody Sanchez, she has really created quite the storm of activity. So I'm going to come to the concierge of small business loans and I'm going to ask him, all right, Bo, I found a business. Now what?
All right, great. Everybody wants to be pre-qualified for an SBA loan. And really, if you have good credit, you have relatively low debt ratios. I mean, you don't have a lot of existing revolving debt because they look at global cash flow and your credit's good. Pretty much you're probably going to get approved subject to the business you're buying having financials that support the new debt payment. Okay, so if you're doing a
Okay.
business acquisition, so really, people come to me and say, you know, I want to get pre-qualified. They think it's like shopping for a home, and it's quite different. If you're buying an existing business, we want the financials. We need the 3 years of tax returns from that business and an interim year to date. Okay, and then from you, we need documents like this. This is a Form 413. It's a SBA personal financial statement. It's a 6-page document.
Hmm.
We need you to be able to put your projections together. We need it if you have any existing businesses. We need the financials on those as well, and you know that's really what we need to do an initial term sheet. Okay, and so
Okay.
if you find a business, what I always suggest to people, because if people are like, you know, jumping the gun, I get calls every day. Somebody books a call, and I was just recently on a laundromat podcast, and all they talk about is buying laundromats. And everybody wanted to be pre-qualified and like, well, what do we need to do? And really, this is a perfect conversation today because really it's a component of, look, you need to get the financials. You need to get the tax returns. That might involve you signing an NDA and you know, meeting the broker that's involved or the seller before they feel comfortable, or they can release it directly to the bank. That's fine too. Like some of them say, hey, I don't want to share it. But if you're buying a business, you want to see their tax returns. That's part of your due diligence.
For sure.
So that's very important. I have a guy right now trying to buy a car wash, and the seller will only provide the P&Ls. He will not provide his business tax returns. And you know what? It's pretty much impossible to get an SBA loan done that way. And the reason is like, well, why don't you want to show your tax returns? He said he'll warrant and guarantee his P&Ls, but at the end of the day, he's shooting himself in the foot by not showing his tax returns. If they correlate to the P&Ls, there's no reason not to. And basically this guy's trying to sell his car wash for like 2.5 million, and he's got a willing, able buyer, but the buyer can't get the financing because of that. So getting the financials is key. And a lot of times we have to work out problems on the financials because they are writing off too much information, but that's the key part to get up front. So if your credit's good, you have low installment loans, and your global cash flow should look pretty, then you're most likely going to be eligible to get SBA financing. You're a permanent resident alien or a U.S. citizen. You can't be on an E2 visa or anything like that. It's got to be a business that's domiciled in the U.S. So assuming that that's all there, it's really a fundamental of the cash flow. The stronger the cash flow, the easier the deal to get done. If the deal's hairy, we're going to have to take it to a bank that's going to be more expensive. So Wall Street Journal prime plus margin of up to 2.75. If it's a hairy deal, that you're going to probably pay a 2.5 or 2.75 margin. So your fully indexed rate today is 11.25. Now, if it's a clean deal, I've got banks that will do fixed rate at 8.99 for a 5-year term, 5-year fix, and then it goes fully amortized for the remaining 5 years. So there's options out there. So I think it's really a fundamental. What I do tell people is like, let's get ready, and that's good. So like if people want to book a call with me, I'm going to get them all the forms. I'm going to have them keep them updated. Don't sign them. Keep them in a Dropbox in a secure place, and keep them all filled out. Understand that I have a projections template. Use the projections template that I give you because that's what the banks want to see. And if you do this, we can streamline the process as fast as possible. And so that's generally, like, I have this conversation every day. So it's great. I can now point people to this video and just say, just watch this video. This is really the framework.
Yeah. So let me translate it to, this channel has a lot of real estate investors. So what I hear you saying is it's actually kind of a combination residential and commercial, and I'll break that down. The upfront approval, right? The check the box, who I am, what's my cash flow, what's my debt, all of that. That's very much a residential loan. Like it's you, the borrower, not the asset. That's step one. That's are you in the game? And then what it very much becomes is a commercial loan. It's very little about the borrower because that's already been checked. Now it's about the business, aka the building. What is the income? What is the debt? What is this? What is the debt service? What's the debt service coverage ratio? All of that. So what I hear you telling me in small business world as the concierge to small business lending is it really is that two-step, right? Who are you, the borrower, right? Keep that financial statement clean, updated, but it will also be about the business. That's what I hear you telling me.
Exactly. You nailed it right there. That's
Yes.
exactly what we need, right? And it's not, it is a tedious process getting to the finish line with these type of loans, but it's not rocket science. It's like, does the business cash flow? And if it doesn't cash flow, is there a reason why? And can we
Can we fix
explain
it?
that and
Yeah.
document why to the underwriter? And I'm going back and forth right now actually on a laundromat, and it's the lady selling the business, her income this year, I don't know why she did this. She knew she was selling the business 2022 because she's just finalized them. She made like $20,000 less. It's like, why would you do that if you're selling the business? You were writing off, like, just pay that
Yeah.
extra $1,000 in taxes. But people don't think about things, I guess.
Yeah. I guess well, ultimately, hopefully a buyer can negotiate a better deal because because that's the beauty of the tax return, right? So I was an accountant, a financial accountant. I know how to make journal entries and make adjustments that are legal to make one quarter or 1 year look better or worse. I have that. But when you have your tax return that is audited and then reported to the IRS, that's like that's the thing, right? Not just this P&L that's over here on the side. This is what I'm telling the government I made or lost. So that's why you need those because that's the game tape that you want to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bo, if somebody is out there shopping for a boring business because Cody Sanchez got them all excited, but they need the money, they need the loan, they need the lender, they got to come to the concierge. How do they do that?
Go to boeckstein.biz and click on one rental at a time, boeckstein.biz. And thanks for having me again.
You got it.